Let's head to New Hope, Maine and see if we won the lottery. Let's get into it. Hey, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well out there. Today we're going to talk about a little TV horror film from '96. But before we get into that, like, comment, subscribe. Join me here. I greatly would appreciate that. Click on the little notification bell. That way, every time I upload a video, you'll get notified and you can see what the hell I got going on over here. And today we're going to talk about a little TV movie called The Lottery. This movie aired on NBC September 29th of 1996. It's based on a short story by Shirley Jackson that was published in 1948. In 1969, there was a little short film based off of that short story. And in 96, they released a full-length movie, a TV movie nonetheless, though. And we got a pretty damn good cast here. But first, this was directed by Daniel Sackheim. Cast-wise, we got Dan Cortez as Jason Smith. He is our lead of the film. The lovely Kerry Russell plays Felice. She lives in New Hope, Maine, the town that most of this film takes place in. Veronica Cartwright, who will look familiar to horror fans from Alien and the 70s version of Invasion of Body Snatchers, plays her mother. Maggie, the great Stephen Root, plays her father, Graham. William Morgan plays the mayor, and he's been in a ton of films over the years, some of which were the first Transformers film, The Prestige, Star Trek VI, many, many other films, and he's always fun to have on screen. And the great character actor Emmett Walsh plays the chief of police of this town, and he's always fantastic, and his list of credits is immense from his career. Now, anyway, this film takes place in New Hope, Maine. Well, it starts off in Boston. We're introduced to Jason. He's having these nightmares about something that happened when he's a child. He doesn't know what it means, doesn't remember anything, but he's having these nightmares. He gets called away to go to this mental asylum to visit his father. He has become ill. And his father's last wish is for his son to take his ashes back to New Hope, Maine and spread them over the grave of his wife and his mother. And that is pretty much the crux of why Jason goes back to New Hope. Although he hasn't been there since he was a small child and he doesn't remember anything about it. So he gets in his car and he takes off for New Hope. And basically, this film is basically him trying to get permission from the town elders to spread the ashes. And he's getting roadblocks at every turn. He meets Felice along the way. They kick up a little bit of a relationship. They like each other. But something's off about this little town. It seems too perfect. It's very picturesque, very cute little, perfect little town where nothing really happens. And everybody seems nice on the surface, but just below the surface, they're very standoffish with Jason. They don't want him there. They're about to have their town festival that they have every June 27th every year. And they definitely want him gone before they have it. Although, because the movie's called The Lottery and he's our lead, he ends up sticking around and because of circumstances. Because basically, Jason realizes what happened to his mother, nobody's telling him the truth in. Now, his grandmother still lives in town, and she gives him a little bit of insight of what happened that day, that fateful day when his mother passed away, what happened with his father, and why nobody in town seems to want to talk about his father. And finally, the day of the lottery is upon us. And basically, everybody in town that lives in town gathers at the town square. They set up this stage, and the mayor gets up there with the priest of the town, because his town's so small, there's one church. And everybody's very religious in town, which plays a little bit into it about being religious zealots, pretty much these people are. And they have this wooden box in front of the mayor, and they put all these pieces of paper in it, and they call a head of each household up to the box to pick out a piece of paper. And then go back out into the crowd. And when the mayor says go, everybody opens it up and looks at it. And if you have the mark, then something happens. Now, are you a winner or a loser? We're going to talk about that right now. Well, Felice and her mom, her dad had broke his leg, so he cannot participate in this ceremony. And really, even the mayor says to them, your husband really should be here. That's the way it's supposed to be. But he's not. So Maggie has to go up. Her mother has to go up and get a piece of paper. But so does Felice. No, her mom gets the piece of paper. That's how it works. They go back in the crowd, and when the mayor says, look, her mom has the mark. And she goes up to the stage with her mother. They put her mother's piece of paper in and one for Felice in, a blank one. And they both have to pick again. And Felice gets the blank one, and her mother has the mark. And this is what we see what the lottery is all about. She goes, thank God it wasn't you. She goes, let's get this over with. She goes down off the stage, goes over to this marker on the ground, and everybody gathers around her. And there's this cart with rocks, and they dump it on the ground. And what I love about this film, especially this part, this is definitely the most juicy, and this is the reason why we're watching this, to see what the hell the lottery is. This is definitely my favorite part, though. I love the look. Everybody in town is very friendly with each other. They know each other since kids. Everybody's lived here their whole lives. So they're all very pleasant, very warm towards one another. When her mom turns around to face the crowd, that changes on a dime. Everybody has a look of almost hatred or disgust or no sympathy whatsoever. They're frenzied and they want to. What happens is they stone her to death as a sacrifice, because their belief is if they do this and they sacrifice one person every year, their town will flourish. It will, no bad things will happen to the town. Their economy will be good. There will be no unemployment. They'll have food. Everything will be fine. And they've been doing this for hundreds of years, however long the town's been around. Because at one point, Jason's in the cemetery and he sees all these people died on the 27th of June. He's like, how the hell is that even possible? And what makes it even a little bit more disturbing, even for a TV film, the first person to throw a rock and hit her mom is a kid that might be 8 years old. And he chucks it and hits her right in the head. And she's disoriented and she turns back towards the crowd. They just start bombarding her with rocks until she's dead. And even Felice ends up throwing a rock because the priest pressures her into it. She's going to get ready to walk away. And he grabs her and goes, you must do this. And she actually does take part and throw one. Now, we don't see it make contact, but she does throw one. So she does take part in this. And they want Jason to throw, and he just throws on the ground. And when it's over, everybody goes back to being jovial and nice to each other and calm. But in that moment, while this ceremony is taking place and they're stoning her, this crowd's as vicious as anything you've ever seen. And then just like that, they turn back to their normal, happy selves. It's almost like the writer was trying to show that evil can even seep into this little town. It's supposed to look perfect. But in real life, nothing is perfect. There's always something below the surface. And for sure, in this town, there definitely is. And then we get a chase with Jason trying to get away from the town folks, because some of the town folks want to kill him, don't want him to get out. And he ends up going to the cops, which ends up being a stupid idea. He goes back to town with these cops. And the town folk, the chief of police lie. And he ends up in an insane asylum just like his father. And that's how the movie ends. I'm not saying this movie's perfect, but it's a movie I've always enjoyed. I never saw it when it first broadcasted, but I saw it a year or two later on Sci-Fi or USA. It was playing like on a rainy Sunday afternoon. I caught it. And I think I saw it one more time after that. And it always stuck in my head. And just within the last few weeks, I've like, I really want to watch this film again. So I went on Amazon and I found a used copy of the DVD for like $5 or $6. Now, if you're interested in watching it, you can go that route that I went on eBay or Amazon and find a used copy of it. Or I checked it out. The whole film is on YouTube. So if you want to watch it, it's available on YouTube for free. Again, without the commercials, it's about an hour 32, hour 35 minutes long. So it's a quick watch. It's an easy watch. One of the other strengths of this film is the cast. There's a great cast here of veteran actors. Kerry Russell is awesome in this film. Dan Cortez does what he needs to do. I mean, he's not the best actor here, but he does a serviceable job as our lead. Everybody's good here across the board. It's not perfect. There's some plot holes. It's supposed to take place in New Hope, Maine, or in Maine in general. It was actually shot in my neck of the woods in North Carolina, a few hours from here in Statesville and Winston-Salem. So it wasn't shot in Maine, although they do a good job. It kind of looks like Maine because I've been to Maine many times in my life. But yeah, I'd recommend this film. It's an easy watch with an interesting premise, and I would give The Lottery a 7 out of 10. I think it's a fun little TV horror thriller. So yeah, 7 out of 10 for The Lottery. Have you ever seen this film? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Share. Just really would appreciate that. I'll be back soon with Blade Trinity, but until then, bye.